out of bed and press your red. Now, mystery hunters.
I'm Christina, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of a scary mystery.
I'm Mariah, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of a hairy mystery.
I'm Doubting Dave, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this ice cream sundae.
Excellent email for the Mystery Illustrator today. It's about strange objects over the skies of Mexico.
And we're hot on the trail of two huge hairy mysteries.
I'm looking for a giant monkey man who smells so bad, they call him the Skunk Ape. Oops, wrong picture.
Ow. And my huge hairy mystery wanders the forests of the Pacific Northwest in the U.S. and Canada.
I'm going to show you how to make a footprint cast in your own backyard, just like the FBI does. So, I'm looking for a really big foot.
Hey, me too.
This is what this half-man, half-ape creature is supposed to look like. But no one has ever actually captured convincing pictures of it. All we know is he leaves giant footprints. I call him Bigfoot, but he has other names too. A native tribe nearby calls him Sasquatch.
I'm in the heart of Bigfoot country in Oregon.
I'm going on a Bigfoot hunt.
We're hiking to the place where Dr. Matthew Johnson saw Bigfoot.
My family and I were hiking up on the mountain, and then this strong stench came downwind, and then we came to a bend where we started hearing this noise. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And we all stopped and looked at each other, and I go, "Did you guys hear that?" And they went,
It smelled like rotten fish.
right up there is where I went to the bathroom behind some brush and trees. I was scanning the trees from my right to my left, and that's when I saw movement out of the left corner of my eye, and I turned my head, and that's when I saw Bigfoot walk from behind one tree to get closer to my wife and kids on the trail. And everything I knew about reality and the outdoors came crashing down. Let's get up the trail, move, go. I got my wife and kids out of there as fast as I could. It had a pointy head, it had a protruding brow ridge, and it had a flat nose.
So, did you guys see this thing?
No, only our dad did. We only heard and smelled it.
Dr. Johnson reported his Bigfoot sighting here at park headquarters. 2 days later, Park Ranger John Roth investigated the area.
When we investigated the site where Dr. Johnson pointed out, we did find a print that was larger than a human boot, both lengthwise and sideways, but certainly wasn't conclusive.
The park rangers showed me a hidden spot deep in the woods. What I came across was bigger than anything I had ever seen in my life.
The Pacific Northwest isn't the only part in the world where people have reported sightings of a wild ape man. Here in Sarasota, Florida, there's a creature so huge, so smelly, they call it the skunk ape. The sheriff's department has evidence that the skunk ape exists.
I think you'll find this interesting.
The skunk ape. How did you get these pictures?
They came in the mail with this letter to the sheriff's department a couple of years ago.
Dear sir or madam, enclosed, please find some pictures I took. My husband says he thinks it's an orangutan. Was someone in Sarasota missing an orangutan?
No one reported one missing.
The case wasn't easy to investigate.
Because no one signed the letter, and the envelope had no return address. So what we did was we filed a suspicious incident report and put it in our files.
I asked the sergeant to make me copies of the pictures. It's time to investigate some more. Meet 12-year-old Nicole Pointer, who says she saw the skunk ape.
When I was riding my bike down the street, it was very foggy, and I saw this really big furry thing crossing the road. It looked kind of like a bear, and then he had feet, kind of just like a human's. And his arms were just dangling, and I couldn't really see his face and his head because it was more hiding.
Do these pictures look like something what you saw?
Yes, that looks almost exactly like what I saw.
So you believe in the skunk ape?
Yes. I just believe he's another ape that no one's ever discovered or seen yet.
I'm in David Barkas's creature store. He's been out many times in the woods looking for the skunk ape. So I guess you don't have a skunk ape, huh?
Not right at the moment.
Have you ever seen the skunk ape?
No, but I've been in the woods looking at night, and I've come across some pretty strange things. I think I've even smelled one a couple times.
If the skunk ape really is out there, David thinks he has a pretty good idea where we can find one. Do you come out here often?
Yeah, this is my hot spot.
David says the skunk ape likes apples. We're gonna use them to try to lure him out of hiding. Is this high enough?
Yeah, it looks good. You gotta really try to tie as high as you can to prevent any little animals from getting to the fruit.
What makes you think the skunk ape is in the area?
Several times at night out here, I've smelled a heavy, musky smell, like an animal smell, a really heavy smell. We've been chased out of the woods, actually, a couple times by a large animal that's been cracking branches and shaking bushes, so that's got to be something weird. And sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days, but the apples do get taken.
But how can you be sure it's the skunk ape and not just another animal?
I can't be positive, but it's going to take a good-sized animal to get an apple from 6 feet in the air.
People have mostly seen the skunk ape at night, so we'll be back later.
I got an amazing letter from 15-year-old Rodrigo Velasquez Furcan in Mexico, who saw something very strange in the sky one day. Take a look on the Mystery Illustrated. Last week, I was in Cocoyoc, about an hour and a half from Mexico City, and my family and I saw something in the sky that moved very fast. That thing looked and shone like a star. One day we saw it at about 7 p.m., and the next day we saw it at about 2 p.m., moving the other way. People who were with us said that they were satellites that could be seen from the Earth. But I do believe in life from other planets. What were they actually? Well, Rodrigo, most likely what you saw was a satellite. There are currently 2,617 satellites, 90 space probes, and 6,096 bits of debris in Earth's orbit. 6,095. You can usually tell it's a satellite and not a shooting star because satellites move through the sky at a steady rate. And if you saw another light moving in the opposite direction, chances are it was a different satellite on a different course. Hello?
Yeah, this is the International Space Station. Did you get our porch light?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thanks.
Could what you saw have been an alien spacecraft? Well, it's not impossible. But the fact is that as yet there is no proof of life on other planets. Unless you count this. Just kidding. Many groups, including NASA, are keeping their eyes out for signs of alien life, like radio messages, spacecrafts, or even just another planet with water. But until then, I will remain skeptical. Unless I'm abducted. Like that'll happen. We'll all be done.
Now this is what I call a Bigfoot trap. Nice and strong. No creature's getting out of here.
Hey, Ranger Tom and Ranger Ben.
Hey, how you doing?
So how does this Bigfoot trap work?
Let's go inside and find out. Bait, such as a live rabbit, can be attached to the trapdoor mechanism. And the idea was that Bigfoot would pull on the bait, causing the trapdoor to slam shut.
So, did you guys ever catch a Bigfoot?
Well, I've been here over 30 years, and the only critters that we know of that can
trapped in here were 2 angry bears.
But does that prove that Sasquatch doesn't exist? I dug up some news articles on Bigfoot, and there have been a lot of sightings. And yet no one has found a Bigfoot body, or even a single Bigfoot bone. Look at this creature, the Sao La Ox. It was discovered only a few years ago. And we once thought this, the mountain gorilla, was just a myth. This is evidence that we haven't discovered all of the animals that walk our planet yet. And check this out. This is Gigantopithecus. It was the largest ape ever to roam the earth. Its bones have been found inside caves in China, and scientists believe it crossed the Bering Strait to America 11,000 years ago. Gigantopithecus is now extinct. Could Bigfoot be its closest living relative? Living here, high up in the Oregon mountains? We're traveling along rugged terrain, a very rocky road. I'm with members of the Southern Oregon Bigfoot Society. They've brought me to this area, where they believe Bigfoot hangs out. When we got up there, hey guys, what's this? We actually saw what looked like giant footprints.
Oh, it certainly looks like an old footprint, doesn't it? You can see quite clearly here, look, the heel mark, and here in the toes.
Look at this. I have a size 16 shoe, and when I put the heel back to the back heel there, the toes come all the way out here, and it dwarfs my foot. That is huge.
That definitely looks like there's more than one animal.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, these tracks were not here, so these tracks have been made probably in the last 2 weeks.
The way to preserve a footprint as evidence is to pour plaster into it and make a cast. One of the biggest collections of Bigfoot plaster casts is in Dr. Jeff Meldrum's lab.
Obviously something's leaving these footprints out there in the woods. What is that something?
So how can you tell the difference between a fake footprint and a real one?
Well, it's not always that black and white. It's actually quite a challenge. Here's an example of a cast that I'm pretty skeptical of because it just doesn't have the same appearance. When you look at the toes, they look very unnatural in the way they're attached to the rest of the foot.
So it's definitely a fake.
In my book, it is.
But Dr. Meldrum believes that most of his footprints are actually real.
If you look closely, you can even see a healed scar. That would be extremely difficult to fake.
Here's another print Dr. Meldrum thinks is real, and here's mine. What does it tell us?
By wearing shoes, your little toes are all scrunched together instead of being splayed out.
That Bigfoot doesn't wear shoes. This kind of evidence changed Dr. York from a skeptic to a believer.
They could not have been made by anything else other than a very large Bigfoot.
And just about every time we come up here, we found evidence as we've documented today.
After finding what looked like footprints, we drove further into the mountains. But we didn't get far. Was Bigfoot trying to stop us?
Welcome to Time Blazers.
Wow.
We're traveling through time.
Something tells me this
isn't going to be easy.
It's like traveling by train.
That was great!
You can go where you want.
Where'd you go?
You can get off when you like.
Where am I?
My ancestors were insane.
So join Sam, Jen, and Shakira as they travel back in time to unlock the mysteries of the past.
One thing's for sure,
We're gonna die.
Actually, you are. In 3500 BC, women never went on a journey like this.
The UK premiere of Time Blazers. Fridays at 7 a.m. and 4:40 p.m. on Discovery Kids.
tonight, I'm going on a hunt for the skunky. This is the only shop in the area that has ape suits. None of them match the photos, but Nancy Wilkie still thinks that the skunk ape is just somebody wearing a costume.
Doesn't look like an animal to me. The face is the same in every photograph. It doesn't move as a real face would. It looks like a mask.
But look at the way the eyes are glowing. Steve here's a biologist. He knows a lot about creatures' eyes. Steve, what do you think about these pictures?
It looks a bit like an orangutan.
but the eyes appear to glow.
Steve says only small monkeys' eyes glow, and the big creature's eyes don't. So do you think it's possible that this creature's real?
I would find that very hard to believe.
The apples are still there.
Yeah, let's hide behind these bushes.
So we're back at our stake outside. This is about the time he's supposed to come out. That's if he comes out at all.
Stupid cube. This thing is impossible. I think I need a walk. Nothing relaxes me like taking care of my award-winning flower garden. It's full of rare and my beautiful flowers. I don't know who did this, but whoever you are, you won't get away with it. I have all the powers of forensic science at my fingertips! Oh, yeah. It's definitely a footprint. Uh-oh. No. Water is a footprint's enemy, and if we're going to figure out who left this, we have to preserve it. The police and the FBI do this by making a cast, and you can too. All you have to do is make a footprint in some mud, or better yet, get your dog or cat to make one. Then, you need some casting plaster. You can get this at any hardware store. You also need some water. You want a particularly watery mix, because that way it fills in all the cracks and crevices. I stir out all the lumps, then pour the plaster carefully into the print. It takes about 45 minutes to dry, which coincidentally is exactly the same amount of time it'll take me to read you a poem I wrote about my goldfish. Little fishy, small and quick, you move by giving your tail a flick. Your orange scales shine bright in water, even as the day grows hotter. You swim around your little bowl. You never seem to have a goal. Because like guppies, we can't broil it. I had to flush you down the toilet. Perfect. Once the cast is dry, I can carefully dig a circle around the footprint. As soon as you can get a hold of the cast by hand, do it. Then brush off the loose dirt. To the lab. Footprint casts can tell us a lot about who or what left them. For example, we know by the size of this cast that the person that left it is at least 9 feet tall. And based on the depth, we can tell that the person who left it is at least 600 pounds. Wow, that is one big guy. Or it could be a 4-foot clown with big floppy shoes carrying a safe. Eh? Anywho, I will find you my 9-foot, 600-pound friend if it's the last thing I do. Stupid monkey.
David says his bird calling whistle attracts the skunk ape.
Many Native American tribes used to tell their children if they were ever in the woods alone at night, never to whistle. I figured they were protecting them from something. even heard a single thing. We should probably just come back tomorrow in the morning.
Okay. But hopefully the apples will be gone tomorrow morning. Just because you don't see a creature doesn't mean it isn't out there. Ranger Paula Benshoff has never seen the Florida panther, but she knows it's out there.
It's definitely out there.
How do you know?
Well, for one thing, it leaves evidence. Footprints.
That's pretty cool.
So you see these sandy roads, we find all kinds of prints, but we've never found a skunk ape print on any of them.
Hey, look at that! It's a pile of poop.
Whatever made this has been eating an awfully lot of hair. What do skunk apes eat?
Well, apparently they like apples.
No, this is definitely a meat eater like a panther or a bobcat.
And I'm guessing his pile of poop would have probably been bigger and smellier. But it's still possible the skunk ape could be out there and you just haven't yet found the evidence of it.
What evidence did I find? Just one missing apple and a weird smell in the air.
After finding what looked like giant footprints, we drove further into the mountains, looking for Bigfoot. We didn't get far.
That rock wasn't here 3 weeks ago when we were up here.
So why is it so important?
That didn't roll here. You can see that the moss is untouched. If it had rolled down a hill, it would have, see the way it would have flaked off, but it didn't.
I say maybe Bigfoot could have, like, carried this over here?
That's very much what it could easily be.
So really, in Bigfoot lingo, they're just trying to say, this is my turf.
We decided to walk further. Ray noticed 2 broken trees. They were snapped from really high up.
It's fresh, it's clean. That's just a straight snap. Had it been a bear, it would have left claw marks, because the only way that a bear can grab something is to use its claws.
Whatever broke that is able to make a grip like this.
If all this is the work of Bigfoot or a Bigfoot family, then they're close. Maybe even watching us right now. The next step is to call out to them with the sound of a real Bigfoot.
That's freaky. Oh, that's creepy. So what makes you so sure that this is Bigfoot screaming?
Because this has been recorded by other Bigfoot researchers down in California, and because we've heard similar screams out here.
We're gonna play this a few more times and hope that Bigfoot answers, or even better, shows up.
Is Bigfoot really out there? Scientists can't prove it, but more than 3,000 people tell similar stories.
There was one time we heard some calls, some screams, and it was just this trailing off.
So is there any evidence that proves that Bigfoot exists?
Well, short of actually capturing a Bigfoot, we have some physical evidence in the form of hair. And the bottom line is, these hairs don't match anything we've ever seen. They can be distinguished from humans or even some of the more common animals like a black bear. It's just something different.
Its hair was dark brown to black.
Perhaps it's Bigfoot.
Hey, if Bigfoot's real, he's gonna have a birthday.
And that's his birthday present?
Well, last year I got him a tie. Maybe Bigfoot is just that.
A disembodied foot roaming around the forests of the Pacific Northwest.
One thing's for sure.
Things aren't always what they seem.
And don't